Pretty typical black-green rock. What did I do? I cut the 4th Brutality from the sideboard to sneak in a Nihil Spellbomb. And my main deck's identical to yesterday, I think. So pretty minimal changes. The list has been pretty firm for a while.
The third sideboard slot for the graveyard decks was just, like acknowledging that that's a matchup that if you don't have those cards early on, like you're not playing a longer game.
Yeah.
None of your other cards matter.
I think KCI can be... I think KCI can be a tougher matchup too, so...
Yeah, for sure.
A card like Nihil Spellbomb for that is reasonable. Yeah, Kentaz picked a Legacy deck.
Yep. Locked in on Grixis last week. Really like the mid-range decks in Legacy. I know there's that control word attached to the end of it, but that's not what it is. Don't let anybody tell you that it's a control deck. I take that back. The Miracles deck is an actual control deck in Legacy.
Keter in Dutch means heretic, so team Hoagland Keter means Highland heretic.
My ex was Dutch and told me that a couple times. Maybe when I was being particularly loud and obnoxious. So.
All right, something fair, something stormy.
What's your thought on the creature type Lurgoyf?
Lurgoyf, I'm a big fan. You know what blue-red decks are not good at killing? Lurgoyf, yep. So the remands are going to be annoying here, but I don't currently have a Doomblade for...
Nice.
Hey, Peter Hossein, thank you very much for the 4-month resubscription there. I appreciate that. Welcome back.
GabJaggy117. Yeah, that's basically what I think it is. It's like it's a mid-range deck. Like I know they like to use the word control, but it plays out like John. You're getting down to 1 to no cards in both your hands.
It's a little bit early for Magic Online. It took a short nap here. We're gonna go ahead and kick it.
It's because it knows you're cheating on it with Arena. It heard about the 7-2 last night with your limited prowess.
Oh my! Moto's upset we've been playing Arena. Put this for the Collector Punisher Zoo to possibly bump it up in today's lineup. Yeah, we could probably make that happen. That's a quick one too.
Punisher Zoo.
It's
I mean, it sounds good. I like that second.
It's got the Pelt Collector. In it with Vexing Devil.
Oh, yeah. I've heard, or I've seen
There's been
the list.
grumblings about that.
Yeah, for sure. It sounds good. I'm pretty excited to actually see that one line up. It's always weird when new sets come out, like the process of content producers like writing about it. Like it takes me a week or two before I like am aware of certain decks because, well, I just don't go to all the websites.
Yep. Alright, so they put a land in the middle already for us. I don't need to prioritize fetching. Remember in this deck, if you can avoid fetching for a hot second, it allows you to, what's the word I'm searching for? It allows you to get more clues with your tracker down the line.
Why did he get a hat when he remanded?
He added an extra month, Nivik. I was going to re-update the banner anyways, and I felt like I had an okay slot on the side for him.
Yeah, he's on the left. He's different from the rest of you. Very.
I put the crowns on the right.
Pyrathian. That means I'm not going to all the Reddit subreddits.
Yeah, Darnia. I turned the 4th Field of Ruin into an additional creature land, and the reason for that is I just like casting my spells on time. This is a deck that's pretty resource intensive. I've seen some other people go up to like a 5th colorless land, and I think that's absurdly greedy. I think decks like this just you don't have time to miss, and you need to just be like getting your spells cast on curve as often as possible to just like not get run over in this format.
It's another way to think about that is if you miss, your deck doesn't have like a free win catch-up mechanic where like the aggro decks or something, you miss a land drop or two, like you still have a good chance to win the game. Being the reactive deck, you stumble for a turn, you don't get a later turn to like write that back.
This is interesting. I wonder if they're a breach deck.
They probably are.
So the fact that they're not holding up, well, I guess they had Thing in the Ice, which makes me think they're maybe not a breach deck, but like they know I have this Goyf, but I guess we're going to 4th land, so I was kind of expecting them to snap remand this turn after remanding the last 2. Now I get to double Goyf them, which is like really good for us. It's like even if they have Spell Snare, they're still going to be in trouble.
Let's see. A couple things. There was an earlier question. If you scroll back up in the chat, somebody had asked like a nice relevant one I wanted to answer. Dana Juice. Gurmag Angler. would be, I think would just be strictly, like, would make the Goyfs worse.
Well, we are playing Tasigur.
Okay.
So
that's fair. That's fair.
So the Gurmag Tasigur difference, not only is this a mid-range deck, so like Tasigur's activated ability has relevant text, but this deck doesn't put a ton of cards into discard piles. Hey, Voyas, thank you for the 7-month resubscription. Petered out on Magic during M19, but it seems like Rav's gonna bring me back, so the sub is still live. Thank you for the continued support. Yeah, Rav seems sweet. Both standard and modern have been a good time. Yeah, so basically, like, I think Tasigur is the better delve creature than Gurmag Angler for this deck, not only because of its activated ability, but also because having to delve one fewer cards is, like, really important. This deck doesn't put a ton of cards into the graveyard consistently, and the more cards you delve, the more you stand to hurt your Tarmogoyfs. So by delving less, you put yourself in a better spot, I think. And I don't think I want more than 2 delve threats because we don't have something like Thought Scour. Can we make Kidder play JC? I think we're tapped out for today.
Yeah.
That could probably happen on Monday, Nivik.
That's either a meme, not the deck, but me.
I mean, I think it qualifies on both axes, really. So this is actually a pretty big mistake on my opponent's part here. So the correct way to sequence this, what my opponent's doing, is they want to let damage resolve first and then bolt my thing. Because what they've allowed me to do now is I get to go ahead and Assassin's Trophy the Snapcaster Mage before damage happens. So, like, now they've bolted my Tarmogoyf, and if this trophy resolves, they're not going to get to actually kill the Tarmogoyf.
You know what's really great, Jeff? If you get a 7th permanent in play, you might get to keep one of your spicy Tarmogoyfs when they Emrakul you.
Alright, so now that they remanded this, do I want to just, like, stick another Goyf post-combat and let this die and, like, save this for a Jace, probably?
Yes.
You'd have Lilied before attacking. That's interesting. I don't know, like, I think I'd rather Goyf this turn. And I think there was a chance, like, my opponent did what they did. I guess maybe I should put this Verdant Catacombs into play there because they're almost certainly a Blood Moon deck. That's probably what should have happened.
Get yourself a nice green source.
Yeah. And this deck is pretty good against Blood Moon, which is one of the reasons why I like playing it. But it's something you need to be conscious of and think about in the matches where they have it, especially game 1, because you can just get cut off if you're not being conscious of it. Also, like, the Overgrown Tomb, like, isn't doing anything particularly useful as a 5th land in play, and, like, we could have held in our hand to Bindle Liliana down the line. Yeah, I mean, if they moon us here, we're still ahead, but we're not so far ahead that, like, they can't catch back up, right? Oh no, chat, they're sculpting our minds! They're sculpting our minds!
We need Notion Thieves. We talked about this yesterday, Jeff.
We need Notion Thieves.
Chat. You guys love a meme. You love silly things like surgical exclamation and stuff like that.
If we get to standard, we'll get to watch some Fox News. Yeah, I think the blue-black is the deck at the top of the standard queue. So this Jace is actually lethal for us because it puts a Planeswalker in the bin, and they knew about the Assassin's Trophy. So if they don't have a spell snare here, they're dead. You can read all about why Dark Confidant is terrible on the green-black page on my website. There's lots of articles linked there.
Artificer. I don't know so much memeing. I just want to make people playing Jace the Wallet Sculptor really regret their decision.
Just feel bad about your life choices.
If anybody can find the Lauren Nolan, Justin Uppel, the Weekend Notion Thief came out.
Yes, I remember that one.
Oh, and Jeff Foster. That was actually the star of that meme. Was not the players in this case. It was actually the judge sitting next to him. Oh, it was good.
So they have TT in their deck. How much actual removal do I want to leave in? So I have Trophies, Decay Pulse. Is that probably enough alongside Liliana? Is that enough ways to kill Thing?
Yeah.
Not a huge fan of Brutality.
I was gonna say it's fine for like checking for their breaches,
That's
but
clunky. I think with 8 1-mana discard spells, this seems fine. And also, I don't think they're on a breach deck.
Assassin's Trophy is good.
We got Trophies decent. It's okay.
It's
card.
Like, it's like very good here because I'm over here like, man, I want to play something for Thing, but when they play their big threats, that'd be good to have answers. Oh wait, it's both. Huh. Somebody had asked an earlier question that I just remembered about this Brazilian player. One, you know, thanks for the Brazilian Magic community. You guys work real hard. Wanting to play this deck without the trophies because he has a pretty important tournament this week. Suggestions.
If you want to play this deck without Assassin Trophy, you should just head back into my YouTube archive and like look at the configurations I played previously. So I played this deck a lot. I think this deck was very good even before Assassin Trophy was printed. I think it's better now with that as a tool. But if you look back in my YouTube videos, they're all in a playlist on my website, and every video description is the deck list that we played in that specific video. Yeah, this is the deck I plan to play in Columbus. Relic is really annoying. Makes Goofy a little bit worse. Lead on Inquisition here because it can take a thing in the ice before it happens. This is just good clean. This is a good example of like one of the reasons why I love the Duress is having. I think getting 4 Thoughtseizes is a little bit too painful in a lot of matchups, but I want access to more ways to take cryptic commands, and Jace's.
Hi Brian, Dredge sucks. Cool.
Dredge sucks, but they get to cast Lightning Helix for free now, man.
That's neat. I think Brian is way away. He's smart enough to know not to do that. I believe I saw him when somebody posted this effect seems good.
There were a couple of lists that like did well with it, and I was like, this doesn't look to me like something that Dredge really wants.
You're a mid-range deck. Anybody that acknowledges Dredge as a mid-range deck doesn't want that card. Anybody that thinks you're a combo deck wants that card.
Hey, Drewski, thank you very much for the brand new tier 2 sub there. I appreciate that. Oh my god.
Do you suck?
Yeah, I tapped this for the wrong color man, and then I played a land, so I can't undo this anymore. Alright, I guess I'm Duressing this turn. Mistakes were made, chat. Mistakes were made.
You know we're just accelerating towards that Tasigur, right?
Well, they have this relic.
Yeah, but they're not going to pop it because they're greedy. Or tap it.
Probably true.
Oh, you're right.
Do I just take... I take the Cryptic, right? Because I can trophy the Jace?
Right, because you want them to tap out for the Jace.
Yeah.
Because they tap out for the Jace, you go stuff.
This is game 1, match 1.
It's kind of a small
game 1, match 1, game 2. Sorry,
I think another reason why you don't necessarily take the Jace there, in these black-green lists, like these mid-range decks, you don't have a ton of threats. And lining up your Goyf into one of their removal spells is usually a bad proposition because like you want to be able to maintain the pressure as much as possible.
Yep.
It's just a way to think about it. I'm not saying that that's definitely the case here, but like, yeah, I think it is the case here.
I always draw too many Tarmogoyfs and they have Relic in play.
Yeah, but see, they're gonna have to pop it to get their graveyard, Jeff.
That's true.
So that's okay.
It's good clean deck building. Quagmire's good here too, even if they get rid of this. We might see a pop plus a bolt here potentially. They have Jason hand too.
That means they drew the bolt. I thought they had a land. I don't think they have a bolt.
They have Jason one unknown.
Oh.
They're missing a land for the Jace. They probably want to pop this.
Technopunk, because Moto is a difficult program to navigate.
So yeah, I tapped my land for the wrong color of mana, and then I played Swamp, and because I took another game action, that means I couldn't undo this. So I wanted to play Tarmogoyf on 2, and then Moto had other ideas. Basically, where's the auto tap? They left in Blood Moon. All right. Well, we're gonna cast this Tasigur for 6 mana here before long. Hey, Eviluro, thank you very much for the brand new Twitch Prime sub. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for the support.
Weren't you supposed to Quagmire there? Doesn't it come into play tapped?
Oh, yeah, it doesn't matter.
Fish.
No, it doesn't come into play tapped under this.
Oh!
Blood Moon. They changed the rules.
Oh, good. Glad I'm not just dumb, because I definitely... Okay.
Once upon a time, you are correct. Okay. That is how magic works.
All right.
Once upon a time, magic worked the way you were talking about.
All right. Hey, Jeff, when he casts a Cryptic, are we going to be okay with that? Shh. Manamorphose, Jeff.
Weird. That's my 4/5. That's unfortunate for you. Yeah, they've locked themselves off both Cryptic and Jace here. Man,
No, Jeff, they play Manamorphose.
man, if only these lands could cast their spells. Blood Moon is such a powerful magic card.
Hey, you know what else is really nice? We have enough permanents to not sack them all when they Emrakul us.
Yeah.
Oh, and we have enough life points too.
So I'm not gonna play this Verdant out because in the event that I draw Basic Forest Tracker, I would like to make a clue with it.
2 clues.
No, man, there's Blood Moon.
No. When you draw the tracker and the green source.
Oh no, not a second Blood Moon.
Okay.
How will I ever win the game now, opponent? Please stop. Mercy. Mercy. I hope they die in 5 attacks to this thing, just like there's stupid Blood Moons in play. Stupid Blood Moons and stupid face, stupid Blood Moons. Hey, CB Dominic, thank you very much for the brand new Prime support there. I appreciate that. Thanks for keeping me employed here this month. I don't even care if we draw a forest, so long as they don't draw another island.
Oh, bless. Tarmogoyf is swinging.
Oh, geez, I messed up. Tarmogoyf could have attacked. Oh, geez. The huge mistakes, Kent. These are the mistakes you're supposed to be here to prevent, Kent.
I'm over here reading chat and wondering why people,
Listen. Listen.
You know what? All right, that was my first mistake.
It didn't matter.
Chat.
It didn't matter.
They just would have bolted
it
in
didn't matter.
response.
Listen, no harm, no foul, chat. No harm, no foul. So I'm gonna take the Jace the Mind Sculptor. Nice counter spells in Blood Moon, opponent. I would like you to sit a while and think about your life choices.
I almost wish we could let them keep the Jace and then know they'll draw the Through the Breach so they can breach in their Jace.
You know, people always ask why I play this instead of Jund. And now I can just link them this video and tell them we win even when we're a Jund deck.
Yat 'em. Technopunk, I've been trying for a while, but my socialist revolt isn't quite working well. So.
Are you dead?
It's definitely just Blue Moon. Cassie girl, I would not read into the Misty besides,
It's extra blue fetch.
Yep.
Alright, they have Spell Snare Negate, so... Edict you. Cast Diabolic Edict. Go. Yeah, you can go and check the really early videos we tried Fairies with Jace right after Jace got unbanned. It just wasn't good.
Fairies with a 4 cost.
The good 4-drop to play in Fairies is Miss Spine Click.
Yeah.
That card is
I was gonna say
really good.
Wizards designed a 4-drop threat for that deck.
Explicitly for that one.
I actually, that got me my first PTQ top 8.
Yep.
So if you guys thought Magic was hard back in the day, it was only hard if you weren't smart enough to play Fairies. My first PTQ top 8, I registered 4 Bitter Blossoms coming back to the Midwest from Seattle, and I won all of my Fairies mirrors. It was embarrassing. Pepper smoke you.
What are we playing in Standard Legacy? I don't think we have a standard deck pinned down yet. Van Meter's doing the legwork on that one, and then Kent is playing Grixis Control.
Broadly, I can speak because I've been testing with Standard or with Chris. I think the red deck is very obviously a powerful strategy, and anybody that selects that for the weekend is probably making a good choice. And then various green-black decks, but
So my one slot of contention on the main deck versus the sideboard is, does this Decay end up in the main deck, or does the Pulse end up in the main deck? That slot could go either way. And the actual answer is that it's pretty marginal either way. The reason why I've settled on the Decay is we talk a lot on here about, Modern's a format that's about resource and mana efficiency, and Abrupt Decay being a more resource efficient card in the main deck that's more likely to trade up on mana, decaying 3-drops is good. In the matches where your removal spells really matter, you don't have time to stumble and fumble, and Maelstrom Pulse is going to mean you're going to fumble a little bit more often. No, I'm not officially on any team. Although we might crash their little F&M thing that they do tomorrow night.
Oh, straight up we are.
I think we're gonna get in early enough today. Hey, keep this. I think I'm gonna keep this. It's Brutality into Liliana and then eventually Fields into Scooze, and if it draws a green source, it's fine.
I think Duress, I think green-white tokens is probably worse than everyone thinks it is. I'm just gonna be honest. I think that deck is gonna require the exact combination of 60 cards to not make it be an underpowered pile of crud. I feel tokens decks and the aristocrats decks it's It's going to require the right mix. I just think this weekend it's going to be underwhelming. Long term, though, in the format, I think the cards are powerful, and that March of the Multitudes is additive. Like the second one is insane.
Hey, McCullough with the big donation to bump all the decks up.
Woo!
For the cut the line, thanks for helping me kick off my end at Bachelorhood. Thanks for the support. Yeah, I'm happy to play through. I got a lot of sweet decks coming out.
Pyrathian, I was just referring to, I think it's like the risk factor red decks, but like honestly, just register 23 mountains and some Whirly Boys and you'll be fine. Doesn't really matter.
Risk factor was really impressive in the red deck when Matt was playing it the other night.
I'm just gonna say this, Todd, strong sad. I respect you, and I think you're smart and a great person, and your wife's awesome. But you're incorrect about risk factor and experimental frenzy. That is a combo, not a non-bow.
No, I don't really sort my leagues by record. I think focusing on the record that the deck has in the matches that you're playing is an incorrect way to approach testing and deck evaluation. I think it's something a lot of people do incorrectly. You know, when people come in, I hate, as someone who like talks about decks and tunes and brews, when I ask someone how their deck's doing and they're just like, oh, I'm 5-0. And it's like, well, that didn't answer my question. You told me what your record was in matches, like playing against idiots while you're trying to like win tickets or whatever. Like, how is the deck good? Is it bad? Why is it good? Why is it bad? What are the details that go into making this thing worth playing? And like those are really the things that you want to be talking about when you're looking at stuff like that. The hows and the whys are arguably like more important than what?
So you're gonna pitch here, but you're gonna activate this Field of Ruin and
a turn we're gonna fielding in a forest.
That looks like a forest to me.
Yes.
Okay.
This is like a really slow evolving wilds.
Yeah,
and they played
and you're gonna get his Quagmire off.
Land
like this is all upside. By the way, I don't think we're winning this.
I'm not gonna lie, I almost conceded there. I tried to watch Todd's VOD this morning after I saw your tweet, but it was muted because of music.
Ah!
Yep. That is, I get it. No, I understand. People see people like Durward just like taking in piles of money for stealing music and they want to do the same. It's just like, just stop.
It's just not right.
Let's get out of it. And that's even just outside of the moral ambiguity, you lose yourself money because people want to go back and watch your stuff and then might give you money going back and watching your stuff.
Funny, yeah, it's what's crazy to me about it as well is the number of people that like legitimately think it's gonna like slip through the cracks or like YouTube isn't gonna catch it. I posted like 5 Overwatch review videos of me playing. I got copyright violations on 2 of them because Pandora was on my desktop audio.
Yep.
It was up for 3 hours, and no, it wasn't automated. It was like it wasn't right when I loaded it. It happened after the fact. Anyway.
How do you feel about Ritual of Soot? Soot's good. We're gonna play the blue black deck we play this afternoon. It has 3 in the main, so I think I just like play Scavenging Ooze here, right? Because like my best chance to beat this is to just like work through it.
Yep.
And this could eat a Doomblade, then they push her up again. In that case, I'll bin my Liliana. But like, if they kill this and don't attack our hand next turn, I can go second Scooge plus Tasigur and maybe power through this. It's definitely going to depend on... And this is actually good for us here, because it means we're likely going to be able to power through this.
Yeah, I think Ritual of Soot is pretty powerful.
Honestly, the fact that like Ritual of Soot doesn't kill everything is upside in a way, because it's a sweeper that like leaves your 6/6 demon in play.
Yep.
Whatever. I'm gonna learn. I'll learn the names of cards in standard eventually, but like that card's really good. All right. Well, we are playing a literal mirror.
Yeah. Opriek, Solar Flare was an old deck title, old deck archetype. I have no idea why it was called Solar Flare.
I believe the name Solar Flare predates even before Innistrad. It was like a throwback to another.
No, I know. I played that one, like the original Solar Flare, like back when it was hand in hand and all that stuff, like that format. I just don't know why that was the name, because back then Magic names had some like meaning behind it.
All right, so if this is a literal mirror, my Collective Brutalities aren't particularly good. They kill like 2/2 skews and Uncracked Tracker. I think I have to leave discard spells in.
Why should it be protected by fair use? You're monetizing streaming. Like, you're literally making money for streaming.
Can you please explain why you feel that playing music shouldn't be protected by fair use? Well, one, people basically think that fair use means that they're entitled to take anybody's other stuff and use it for whatever they want. Basically, people think fair use means I should be able to get to steal anybody's content. And so basically what you're saying is, by making the fair use argument, you're saying that you're entitled to everything for free, regardless of other people's work. And that's just like not true, right? And then people throw up the exposure argument. Guess what? If those music artists wanted to be paid in exposure, they'd license their music so you could pay them in exposure.
Yep.
But they don't license their music that way because they want you to pay for their music.
You know what's great? I've paid my rent and exposure constantly.
Yep.
Get out of here with this for exposure.
The thing that blows my mind too is like when Twitch streamers take music that they don't have permission to stream, like they're making their living making something, taking stuff from other people who are trying to make their living making stuff, right? Like you'd think like if you're an artist, you'd support other art, you'd want to support other artists, right?
It's a collect, like you're stronger together type of thing.
Also, they're like, and then other people take it even a step further, and they're basically an online jukebox, right?
Okay, get there. You're right.
Not that kind of exposure, kid. I wish I could upvote. I could upvote Twitch comments.
I have thought about that for the longest time. I want a system as a mod to be able to give 10 points to your because there are some comments in Twitch chat where I'm at home in Seattle and I am rolling on the ground. I have to walk away from your Twitch stream like once or twice a stream just because somebody types stuff.
There are a number of people there's people that stream games much bigger than Magic and than Caleb, and they've gotten temporary bans from Twitch for stealing music like Caleb does. I like Caleb as a person, but what he does is morally wrong.
It just doesn't make sense because at a very basic level, you're making money for people watching you doing stuff.
I understand it's popular. I'm not arguing that it's popular. I'm arguing that it's stealing and it's morally wrong. You are taking stuff that other people have made that you don't have permission to take and use. Anybody who has any of their past streams muted is stealing and is breaking their Twitch terms of service. And eventually someday Twitch is like, someone's going to realize that there's a bunch of money in Twitch and they're going to sue Twitch or these content producers.
Yep.
And then like Twitch will actually crack down on it. But for now, it's basically a don't ask. If you get in trouble, we'll slap you on the wrist and tell you not to do that. And then you can come back and do it some more later.
I think you're winning this game, Jeff.
We're ahead at the moment. I'm going to play the Scooze rather than the Goyf because there are Maelstrom Pulses in these decks.
All right, I believe in you. It's like when you play things and you get.
It's not morally wrong. All right, stealing's not wrong. I'm just gonna ban you. I don't want anybody who thinks it's okay to take things that don't belong to you isn't welcome in my chat. Please leave.
Yeah, that's a scalding hot take.
So yes, they punish people like WotC punishes cheaters is a good metric. That is not what I said, and you can have a ban too. That is not what I said. What I said was streaming music over your Twitch channel, something you explicitly don't have permission to do, is stealing, and stealing is wrong. Playing YouTube for your own personal use, not broadcasting it to the internet, I don't even care. It's literally not stealing. I don't care if you give me money. Get out of here.
It is like
it is the definition of stealing is taking something that doesn't belong to you and using it, or taking something that doesn't belong to you in general.
Why is there such this willingness to just ignore intellectual property? Like, oh no, that's not property. I don't care about that. Not now. Is there any punish for dismembering here?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I think we're just gonna do that. Yep. If I pay you for Spotify and the artists make funny, that you are not stealing if you are listening to music personally. And again, if you are making that argument, you're either not listening to what I'm saying or you are intentionally ignoring what I'm saying. What I'm saying is there is a difference between listening to music on your own personal stuff in your house that you have permission to stream than there is streaming music that you broadcast. Broadcasting music is different than streaming music for your own personal use. And if you think it's okay to steal other people's stuff, fuck you. Sorry, that's how we're. If you think that's okay and you want to leave, leave. Because guess what? You probably don't want to support my content. This is free, and I legally give this to you for free. Why would you support my stuff? You don't even have to be making money off of it. Like, just like taking stuff like. And again, just the fact that like people who make stuff steal other people's stuff that they've made just like blows my mind. It's possible I should leave up the Assassin's Trophy here so I could like tag a Liliana, but a Liliana's probably edicting me anyway, so I just want to get the most damage in.
Oh man, Shareman has the good advice.
Yes, people
just sit on the ban button.
People don't realize that radio stations pay for broadcast licenses.
Yep.
They pay lots of money to be able to stream music like that.
The digital drummer, the guy that cares, said, man, people should read the terms of service for all these things that they use. That's such a good point.
Feels like a good time to give you money. Thanks, Stanton, for the 8 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back.
Stealing is okay. Oh, I love to be clear, it's a joke with the text changes.
Yeah,
I love
you're
that.
good.
And your point about when Twitch grows, I was thinking about this the other day. Twitch is like this close to just being a radio station or a TV station or whatever. Like I almost.
Is there a way to get a broadcast license for Twitch? I have no idea. I'm not a lawyer. All I know is the reason people's streams get muted is because they're streaming audio that they don't have permission to stream. That's why their streams are getting muted.
Yep, and that's a good point about Spotify and Pandora. It's a personal use license. Like you actually have to pay to be able to play Pandora at a coffee shop. It's a separate license.
Yes, Spotify also has Spotify and service like there's also music.twitch.tv where you can stream music that's licensed to be able to be streamed on your stuff. And there's people that, well, that's not the music people want to listen to. Well, guess what? The music people want to listen to, you need to pay for to broadcast it as a broadcaster. Captain said, thank you very much for the bits. I appreciate it.
I love the people, going back to the exposure argument, there are literally, there's an entire market of music of people willing to take exposure because they make their intellectual property open for use and share.
Firecorn, thank you for the 4-month free subscription. I appreciate that. Welcome back. So even if even if a streamer isn't monetizing their stuff directly, Twitch is monetized. Every stream on Twitch is monetized by Twitch. So even if a person isn't an affiliate or isn't a partner and isn't getting bits or ad revenue themselves, Twitch is making money off of what that person is streaming. That's how Twitch stays in business. Those people aren't monetizing it for themselves. The reason why Twitch is muting is because Twitch is making money off and they can get in trouble.
Yep. I don't think anybody does, Quillman. It's like right up there with like all your other like argument tropes where you're just like, as soon as they open their mouth about exposure, you should just ignore everything else they say about that topic. At least that's what I do.
Yep. If you pay to view it or see ads or block ads, somebody is making money off it. Correct.
Guess what? If you don't know how they're making money off of you.
Yep.
Every time.
Here on Twitch said if you pay for radio license, you can. But again, I'm not a lawyer. Yeah, and that would make sense. And again, I'm not a lawyer. I don't know the details. I have no desire to stream music on my channel. I'm just, I talk about semantics to make myself feel smart. QDig, that's completely separate, and that is completely separate than taking something that somebody has licensed in a proper way that expects payment for it.
Yeah.
So that is just like intellectually dishonest. You're either being stupid or you're being intentionally obtuse to like be obnoxious and distract from the point at hand.
Oh no! Why would we want to make society slightly more balanced and give healthcare to people? Nobody's at a disadvantage.
Do you think Twitch should be paying licenses for all the music that gets into the platform? I don't know. I don't have the answer to that. Can a streamer get banned for using music without a license? Yeah, they've given slaps on the wrist. Do I keep this?
I think you might, because if they hold on. Let's actually talk about this because this is a great mid-range discussion. We're facing a 6 discard deck. We have one answer to one of their threats, but only one threat. If they go discard into double threat, we lose. If they go like double discard, we're off the top of our deck and we're pretty bad.
Let's just draw spells.
Okay.
All right. Who is this guy and why is that? So this is Kenketter. He's one of my buddies. We traveled to play a bunch of opens together. He was one of the idiots that qualified for the Players' Championship with me in 2014. He's playing on my team for the Team Open this weekend. Stealing music isn't stealing, it's like saying fat. They're just big boned, Anoronics. Yes, there have been a number of streamers that have gotten temporary timeouts for taking music that is not.
They're like esports streamers,
yes,
not
correct. Yes,
poopy cruddy MTG CCG streamers. Hate to break it to you, Jeff, but
we're small fish.
Tiny. You are. Do you even get to count as a whole fish? Like, aren't you just like
avid user? It's not just sure. They at some point. Twitch is going to get in trouble in general, and then at that point, they're going to need to stop allowing people in general to take music. Right now, Twitch has a very loose, lazy policy on it, and they just mute things after the fact.
And what people need to remember about Twitch, they're Amazon.
Yes.
You don't get that big by letting these, liabilities pop up. Doesn't happen. It is going to get fixed.
At some point, someone's going to realize, wait, Ninja makes $12 million a year. We should probably stop the platform he's on for using our stuff without permission.
And it's like civil suits would then look at the fact that he's that rich and say, man, you should really just give me $100K. And the judge would be like, yeah, that's not unreasonable. Fork it over.
Yeah, Ninja makes $1 million or more a month.
It's insane.
With all of his sponsorships and stuff, he's clearing 7 figures a month. He's the largest streamer on Twitch at the moment.
It's because he's probably the most entertaining.
He's very good at what he does.
Oh, how long? What was it? 1 year? He's been doing it for a year now, Jeff?
Yeah. Yep. Fetch land. Spell. Alright, so they have a tracker and we don't, which is probably bad for us.
Yeah, but we have a trophy and they don't.
Yeah, I guess. I guess they have 2 cards left.
3.
Yeah, 3 with the clue.
Just want to make sure you know how bad of a situation you're in. By the way, it's been asked, I'm playing Legacy this weekend, as of now. Jeff is playing Modern, but we'll see what actually gets registered.
Yeah, this is a literal mirror match. The opponent's on the Tasigur build, and I haven't seen any cards that we're not playing at the moment. So it looks like, pretty sure it's like a card for card mirror or close to it. Ninja has been streaming much longer than a year. He's been streaming Fortnite for a year though.
Okay.
And he wasn't as nearly as large pre-Fortnite. Can we please keep Kent around? We're gonna have as much Kent as possible, okay?
He keeps trying to. If you guys can
Pulse,
get
Pulse. I'm gonna hold these lands in case we draw a tracker. Probably dead here. And it's down. It's scheduled downtime this morning, though. So scheduled downtime's excusable if it's not long. 9 hours scheduled downtime for Moto is not excusable, but like an hour or 2 here or there. I guess on a weekday they need to get their downtime crap together.
Yeah, Hex figured out when to do downtimes, which only affected me being awake at 3 in the morning.
Yep, they were good at their stuff.
I'm so confused.
The beta doesn't impact when the downtime should be.
I also that point about
it's really bad. It's bad timing in general. Like downtime should be done in the early morning UK or an overnight US.
If only there was a way for us to look at user data based on time of day and then make appropriate suggestions.
Hex died. Hex is down forever. The system is down. All right, we're dead.
We're dead.
So fun fact, the one thing that made me think about not playing this deck this weekend is the mirror match. These mirror matches are they're terrible. They're just like these rancid top decking dick swinging contests. No, Hex hasn't officially shut down. They're like, their servers are running still, but like they're not putting out new content. All their things have just been copy and paste.
Come on.
We're gonna have a moment of Hoagland does social media.
Come on! This is terrible.
Why is it a grind? Just play Magic for fun. If you aren't having fun, don't play. All the quests and bonuses
are
optional.
The game is optional.
The game is. I don't like. People talking about the pricing on Arena, I just don't get it. As someone who like bought into Hearthstone for like over $1,000 and didn't have a full set, like the pricing on Arena is not out of line with everything else in the industry.
I think you need a whale emote.
I need a whale emote. I speak whale.
That was probably one of the better. That movie was good. If you don't like Finding Nemo, then fuck you.
Well, and that's the thing though, right? Like Arena, whenever somebody was like, hey, T-Paz, thanks to the brand new tier 1 sub. Whenever people are like, well, Arena's a grind, it's like, well, you can skip the grind and give them your money, just like every other game. Yep. Like, the grind is only there if you explicitly don't want to give them money.
It's almost like the entirety of life is an exchange of time.
But like, if you ignore the fact that you can play for free and just like pay for the experience that you want, like that's what I do. I pay for the experience that I want. I feel like the price of Arena is super out of the... So, you're talking about the free-to-play experience. I am not talking about the free-to-play experience. I am talking about the give them money and stuff I get back.
Thank you, Matt, man.
That's what I'm talking about. The amount of stuff I get for the amount of money I give them is in line with Hearthstone and other things. Why do the packs need to be 15 cards? Like we're getting a rare in every pack still. Why do I need a bunch of other commons? And I have way more commons and uncommons than I will ever need in that game. So like, why do we need more of them?
No, I didn't get a job. I'm still on the hunt, unfortunately. God, I wish I had.
Arena is never going to have trading options. It is purely a collectible card game.
Mm-hmm.
Why would it be better to pay money on Magic Online than Arena?
I think it's an incomplete statement, but my guess is because then you can sell out.
So, sure. If you wanna be able to sell out afterwards, I agree. Magic Online is the only option. Well, that was a good draw. Fortunately, I don't have another Doomblade, but hopefully Tracker here is gonna draw us another Doomblade at some point. Can you actually guaranteed you get at X amount of money? So there's basically a range. It's like Hearthstone. Hey, Leclerc, thank you for the $60 donation. Put this to Tron and play today. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to get to a 7th Modern deck today. If we don't get to it today, we will definitely do it. I will fire up in the morning and do one tomorrow before we head out. Thank you for the support.
That's actually a thing that kind of bugs me about Magic's starting, like, or the way they set it up is our artifact in their starter decks, they're actually giving you relevant, like, strategies and cards. So you have, like, a powerful deck to start with.
Paper Magic and Hearthstone or MTGR are more expensive than Hearthstone or Arena, but being able to directly buy what you want makes it more appealing. Yeah, the what you feel like you're getting out of it is definitely a big deal. Guarantee more or less. It depends on how many rare cards you have. So basically, as you buy booster packs in Arena, you collect what are called wild cards that let you get specific cards that you want. And the number of rare wild cards that you get is the most expensive, basically.
We're just going to give you a...
Yep.
All right.
Goodbye.
Magic's for everyone. Hey, one of your supporters, a Wineronics, was wondering why his resub wasn't cool enough to be read. He posted it during your rant.
Oh,
we're gonna loop back to it because it was in the middle of this was way back during rant.
Oh, jeez. Yeah. I don't know if my thing scrolls back that far. Anner, I'm sorry. I don't.
It was a strong rant.
I think I missed it. Oh, jeez.
It was a really strong rant.
Do I have a thing?
Somebody did tell him in Twitch chat though. Hey, it's on you for doing your resub mid rant.
Where are my filters? Filters. Show me subs. Show me tier 3 subs. No, I don't have it. It doesn't show it. Oh no, Anner. I'm sorry. Post it again. I'll look. I swear. All right. So Tracker's dead. They draw a card. We get a couple of draws here. The queue is slowed except for standard decks. So I'm accepting standard decks at $10 donations at the moment to gauge what the interest is in that, but I am not accepting more modern decks right now. I did say, hey, Kent, suck it, and then I was ready for a timeout for being a meaty. Would you still like your timeout? I feel like because I missed it, you definitely don't need a timeout because we were mean back and missed it.
Yeah.
The queue being slowed means that it is more expensive than normal to add a deck to it.
Gotcha.
I got you.
Also, hello, yo cousin. Welcome back around.
All right, so I'm gonna crack this other clue here too because I really need to find a fatal push for this. All right, we have a trophy for next turn. I get to go to Inquisition here and take a peek at what they have going on in their hand. Maybe I should have turned this into a 4. Hey, Jeff, I recently cut a Tasigur and a Lily Last Hope from the rock list from your site. I exchanged them for 2 Courser of True Fix. What are my thoughts on Courser and Rock? I think Courser of True Fix, hey, Babe Cub, thank you for the 2-month resub there. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thank you for the continued support. I think that Courser of Crufix is a card that, what's the best way to phrase this? Playing cards to make Tracker better is really bad. I don't think Tireless Tracker is a card that's really good without any extra help. So there is no reason, in my opinion, to play cards with the reasoning, this card makes my best card better. So
unless your best card wins the game on the spot. Oh wait, but then how can it get better? Because you won the game on the spot. Sorry, I ruined your rant.
Yeah, so I think while Courser's a fine card, I think it doesn't actively work to solve issues. Oh, did I miss a donation too? Holy shit. Collector Zoo, please, seems interesting. Thank you, Apprentice. We'll definitely get to Zoo today. I'm sorry, I am just with Ken tier 2. There's a lot of things going on, and we were ranting.
Let's focus it back in, Jeff.
Let's focus it back in. I'm sorry, Apprentice.
We're gonna let's double check.
I missed a sub. I missed a thing.
Does anyone else have a donation or a thing? Yeah, it's my fault. I'm good with that.
Kent ruins everything.
Exactly.
It's basically the issue.
Everybody hates Kent.
All right, so they have a Logic Knot and a Serum Visions here. They're holding up Logic Knot. I think, which of these do I want to get counterspelled? I think it's the Tasigur, actually.
Yep.
So I think I'm going to go Tasigur, Delve my whole bin, and I'll Logic Knot this, and then I can go Tracker, Fetch, Trophy the Young Pyromancer. Trophy's great. Very playable card. It's like Fatal Push. It's a format staple. You're happy to play it. It's not gonna change the format dramatically. The things that see play. KentCon is less organized than the Fire Festival.
Oh.
Wessel Mose the second. Thank you very much for the brand new Prime support there. I appreciate that.
We're not gonna get sued for it.
I think they need to go for the counter here because a 4/5 is just like really large for them. There's even a chance that like my opponent's not playing Path in their main deck because they have cards like Boros Charm for extra reach.
Mattman posted the reason it was called Solar Flare was in reference to a DBZ. The original deck author was a Japanese guy.
Okay.
And he just flat out was like, this is why I called it this, because it's a reference to Dragon Ball Z lore. Like, flat out.
I'm forgetting to do that. No worries. I appreciate though when you do it. Yeah, the new animations are A+. Really happy with them.
Yeah, I just saw the Jester one. That's quite cool. Neat.
All right, so our health total is a little bit low here, especially we know they have double Boros Charm in their hand, so like I'm basically at a virtual 6 at the moment. That being said, this is putting a second creature into the bin here, so this Scavenging Ooze is hopefully going to get to do a little bit of work. Yeah, I don't know about correct, but their opponent is certainly doing it.
That is definitely a way to look at it. I definitely, when you said they were playing Boros Charm, I had to look up again and double check it was the same match. I was real confused.
So they drew a land. That's good for us. No, they got the island. They had 4 shocks in play. Well, I guess I start with this. If this gets in and gets out of bolt range, we're going to be in a really good spot.
How many creatures total are in?
We got 2, because I had to delve the others for the Tasigur.
Fine. I mean, we're going to gain... Oh, yeah, we're in good shape. And then just... pass?
Do I want to serve with this?
Oh, so you already have 3 cards stacked.
If they trade... Yeah, I already have 3 cards stacked. Like, if they trade all of these for this, that's kind of good for me, right? Do we know his exact hand? They've charm, and 1 card I don't know. They could alternatively use a charm as an indestructible. I think if they use charm as indestructible, I'd be kind of sad.
Than 4 life.
No, I don't think so. Yeah, I think I'd rather take 4. Yeah.
Right. Like I think that's.
Thanks for the content. I normally watch on YouTube. Put this towards Bant Company. Definitely. Thank you for the support. I really appreciate that. Glad you enjoy the YouTube stuff. Your hats are definitely better, Nivek. So I assume they're just like doming us here.
Yeah, right.
And I have 2 Collective Brutalities in my deck, so hopefully we're gonna get to those pretty soon here. And then I have a lot of big boys and girls, and the opponent's only at 10 here. So especially with this Treetop Village having trample, we're gonna close this game out pretty quickly. Yeah, they're just flooding a little bit. Our deck is much better at flooding than theirs is. God bless you, Tireless Tracker.
Krakow Borko.
Yep. So many bits to the next crown. So many. Let's get a dealer's choice in there. Thank you, Project Swamp. I appreciate that. Thanks for the absurd support as always. Trophy's great. Very, very playable card. And even if they like Doomblade this here, like that's good for us, right? Because it's just gonna gain us another health. Yeah, sure. And that gain does 4 health. That's great. I think the opponent, like, I don't know if they're winning by helixing us, but I feel like their only way to win this game is by racing.
Yeah, and I mean they're not racing because Scavenging Ooze, but you know they're gonna try.
I don't know. Something close to this. This main deck's been pretty close to what it is for a while.
They have board
Trophy has pulled Mill from tier 17 to tier 3.
Fire up the. Oh yeah.
I gotta get a clue, man.
At least 1.
I think I'm gonna do this, and then
I like firing up the village here.
I'm just gonna do this, and then do this in attack. We're at 8 right now, basically, even with the charm hitting us. So if they want to trade charm for my Treetop Village, I'm okay with that.
This is a 2-turn clock. Yeah, this is good.
You playing this deck makes me want to spend money. It's a really good deck.
My only 5K wins with green black back when you had to do it with Tech Edge, and I also played Scape Shift 6 times or 7 times in the Swiss.
Did Anner come back?
I don't know if it's probably been about 10 minutes.
I need Anner to post in chat so I can give him a sword back. That is my son. Jake's all grown up.
Was I? You timed him out.
Dang it! Yeah, he's dead, Jim.
So our opponent has pointed 6 damage at our
creatures. Yep.
Okay.
But like, oh, that's lethal, right? Yeah, that's lethal. So I get to do. They have no cards in hand. I get to trophy this. I get to eat something. I get to fire up Treetop. This is match 3. This is match 3. Game 1. Match 3. Game 1.
I'm sorry, our opponent hit a lot of lands. That's a lot of lands.
They should put some creature lands in the deck. That's not even that many. We gave them 2 of these. I've drawn way more lands than they have. Demonsta. Here's a couple dollars courtesy of Super Villain Jeff Bezos. Thanks for the Bezos bucks there. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me employed here. The crowns have no mercies for other crowns that are out of form. I typed mod Anoronics, but I'm not sure that works when he's timed out. All right, so this is a Languish matchup. This is a Collective Brutality matchup. This is definitely a Thoughtseize out matchup. It's probably a Liliana the Veil out matchup.
I've always been conflicted on Lilianas and stuff against like the burn decks because like ticking up is.
So I think I want to. I leave her in against regular burn, but they're a Pyromancer deck. So I think I want to trim her against the Pyromancer deck.
And you'd rather keep the other Lily because I would say the other Lily against traditional burn.
Correct. Yes. Okay. Yeah, and against like traditional like Boros burn, I cut that.
Okay.
I think Duress is fine here too.
The only thing I would think of is maybe like
Black Green Rock is really bad against Living End and Red Green Valakut Titan.
Only other consideration is like the 4th tracker. Or like your slower effect, is that worse? But I don't think it's like I don't think you want the Thoughtseize since you have 5 discard spells anyway.
Yeah.
Like I know,
and I have Brutality too.
Oh jeez, yeah. I just know in the past keeping Thoughtseize because it's the 2-life trade isn't like.
I think the Tron matchup for this deck is actually pretty good.
3 Field of Ruin, 4 Assassin's Trophy. Yeah, it's pretty solid. Sure, I think that's a good consideration of playing the Pulse over something, the tokens line, but also just like. Actually, I don't know about that, Tyrant. Like, I think the Pulse is an interesting thing to consider. I wouldn't cut the Tasigur to do it because that card's too efficient against.
Tasigur's really good.
Right,
yeah,
right.
the double or triple spells turns that
is critical against
Tasigur activates.
But I don't dislike the Pulse because my thought is maybe they might try to pull up a bit and like go a bit longer.
Languish is Plague Wind. Yeah. In the matches where you want a sweeper, Languish does the Damnation impersonation, and it doesn't kill our creatures. And Languish is infinitely better against what's her name? Selfless Spirit. Alright, land please. So I kind of got punished here for my land sequencing. If I would have let in the fetch land, I could have pushed this at end of turn and then untapped and Goyf. How's the Hardened Scales matchup? I think it's pretty reasonable. You have a lot of they're kind of they're kind of they're a synergy deck basically, and we're a point removal deck.
Yeah. You get to interact with their synergy both before it comes into play and after, and I think it's pretty good.
When did I cut the 4th Field of Ruin? Yeah, so I cut the 4th Field of Ruin when we got Assassin's Trophy. So basically, Assassin's Trophy gave us more tools when it comes to interacting with lands. And I'm a really big proponent. I probably like casting my spells more than anybody else who plays Magic the Gathering. So I am always absurdly conservative when it comes to being able to cast my spells consistently.
That whole wave was for you, Marty. I wanted to wait till Jeff finished talking to say hello. I was beauty queen waving for a good 30 seconds.
Sure, but we have a bunch of ways to kill animation modules in our deck. Again, I've played the Hardened Scales deck a good deal on this stream. I think that deck is very good. I don't think it's unlosable. That's one of the things about playing a deck like this. This deck doesn't have any slam dunk matchups. You work for every win you get with a deck like this.
I do think, though, you have the synergy-based creature decks are your best opportunity at a free win because you're limiting the creature interactions from coming into play with discard. You have removal if they get a piece in play, and then most of those creature decks don't deal with the Goyf threat very well.
No, I think the efficiency of what's it called? The efficiency of Assassin's Trophy is more important than not giving them a land tier as opposed to Maelstrom Pulse. We've played against Tron a few times. We haven't played it. Valakut Titan's fallen out of favor, which is good because Valakut Titan matchup is miserable for this deck.
Is it really that bad now? With the trophies now, it's still terrible.
It's still they just cast Titans.
I feel like you could maybe steal a game or two.
It's now. Nothing's unwinnable.
Well,
but
it was unwinnable before. Like before Assassin's Trophy was printed, Valakut would just they'd Valakut you eventually. You had no way out.
I think we're getting burned out, Chip.
You think so?
Yeah.
7.
Like
Well,
probably not cracking this fetch land. Opponents literally just played like Boros Burn this game.
gonna have to disagree with that, Stompy.
The blue red deck is very close against the Hardened Scales deck. I think the blue red deck's a little bit ahead if you're playing correctly, but there's also a lot of room on both sides for people to mess up. The blue red deck's another deck that just like there are no free wins. Just like you work for actual everything you do and get. I should have done this pre-combat because it would make my Tarmogoyf larger. Mistakes were made.
Yep.
We've played a couple of Sultai decks with Unmoored Ego, but Sultai decks are generally pretty terrible was the issue.
Gakno, I don't think Ponza's a bad matchup for this deck because Ponza's kind of a bad deck, but like I guess in theory it should be a bad matchup.
No, I don't think it is.
I don't think Ponza's because it's discard Goyf and they're like, what do we do?
You just cast Tarmogoyf and they die. Ponza can't beat a Tarmogoyf.
Gengar, they have not. I can tell you that we are narrowed in our field of scope.
We won't. Yeah, in a brand new format, we will not be posting a whatever deck that we're playing. Well, that's just like not fair to my team.
Well, also just straight up anybody that tells you they have a definitive decision in for their week 1 deck is probably bullshitting you a little bit.
All right, so they have Snapcaster Mage and Gideon. There's a Boros Charm in their bin, so. I think I'm gonna max on green sources here for the Skoos. So I missed points of damage with this Tarmogoyf because of my sequencing on the Collective Brutality. I missed 2 points. I had a light blue splash to black white walkers to make Teferi the top end. I mean that seems fine. Like that deck's not particularly tier 1 anyways. Who is playing which seat? Yeah, I'm playing Modern, Kent's playing Legacy, and Van Meter's playing Standard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, happily.
Our PTQs are dead.
Please, Pyrathion. Oh.
Don't toy with their emotions like that.
I have a friend in Seattle, Google friend or whatever, that like is actively RPTQing and stuff like that, and it's so disheartening to read his statuses about like attempting to get on the Pro Tour through RPTQs. I'm just convinced if it was the older system with PTQs, he would be infinite qualified. But since you have to wait every few months to take your shot.
Yeah, Grixis controls the clear best legacy deck.
Yeah.
So we're dead to any bolt here. We're at 5 and they have a Snapcaster Mage.
Keep tapping them, baby.
This is just a Gideon.
Keep tapping them, BB.
God bless.
We could.
They actually can't attack here because we have 2 lethal threats in play.
Yeah. Jeff, is that good?
It's not like regular affinity. I'm aware. I'm just gonna stop arguing with me.
Yeah, you're
like I literally went in and talked about it, and I told you I've played the deck a bunch. There's fine videos on my YouTube channel. Just like.
Additionally, you opened with the statement of the cards are powerful on their own, and in the format of Modern, that is untrue.
You have Arcbound Worker in your deck.
Congratulations, you have Arcbound Worker. Have you read the card Vengevine before, or like Faithless Looting? Holy crap, that's a powerful card. It definitely feels like somebody has played a lot of games with the deck and is very close to how do I put this?
They're very invested in it.
Yeah.
All right,
Going back to a system similar to...
Not
cool.
exactly the same as the old PTQ, with no PPTQs.
Good. PPTQs. You know, in Seattle, I have not played in a PPTQ less than 60 people.
Are you talking about Marty's? I mean, I don't really care about PTQs. I'm not qualifying for a Pro Tour regardless of how the system is set up.
I care. I'm gonna play all the PTQs and laugh. Mostly because people are gonna sit down for the finals match. I'm gonna be 100-0 split, and they're gonna get all.
No, our team is not sponsored.
Yeah, we're sponsored by me, myself, and I.
I probably should have played another tracker here. Path's a good pickup, so we're going to 1 here. Probably dead because I have to jump here. Wait, what?
What?
Yes, deal. All right, well that gives me a lot more breathing room.
What are you doing?
That has to be a misclick, right?
Yeah.
Maybe they were afraid of an Assassin's Trophy.
Possible.
I think I just have to draw for 1, right?
Do you want to put a tracker in play first regardless?
No,
because it takes you off a pulse. But if is that okay? To have no pulse?
I don't have pulse in my deck. Alright, yeah, I should put a tracker in play first.
And you have to crack the field. Or use the field to crack, but yeah. I don't know why they didn't attack last turn. Well, I mean,
what costs 2 mana is bigger than a Gideon? Tarmogoyf? Did anybody have Tarmogoyf on their bingo card?
Jeez.
Correct. Trophy doesn't work when Gideon's already a creature.
Pro Tours are going to be held at GP locations now?
That's a good thing.
Interesting. That's just that they're
that Pro Tours should be convention style events. That's ideally how they should be. But you're passive, aggressive.
Yeah, have a good day, buddy.
I'm just gonna permanently ban you.
Yeah.
That's a permanent ban, Larinax. Just get him out of here. Guess what? Good people can do crappy things. Doing a bad thing does not make you a bad person. I know we live in a society that, like, we think that's the case, but it's possible for you to be a good person and do a bad thing. Also, do you like how people, this is my favorite, like they're talking, that person's talking to me about not having a spine,
and they
maybe you should like have have a spine and sign your name to something. That's like whenever people, it's always funny how people who pop up who have these strongest opinions, it's some random cartoon avatar or some kind of random new account.
Anime avatars.
Have a spine and put your name to it, or maybe you shouldn't be saying it. If you don't believe in your message enough to put your name behind it, maybe you don't believe in your message and you shouldn't be saying it. Maybe I should have Duress first here. This feels bad. So I think I'm gonna do this and just pass here now, because I kind of want to leave the option to fire up Hissing Quagmire open.
Yeah, Wanna Beetle. I was gonna mention that after the fact because he definitely mid caught there. Yeah.
Listen.
Yeah, good catch.
I was raised in a certain way, and not every way and not all the things I did while I was growing up were good. But I am a human who can experience self-growth and change.
Yeah, Lucas Kendall, a little bit, man. I definitely don't like.
It's really shocking how many anime avatars end up being neo-Nazis. It's funny because it's sad.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll admit I don't. I don't do well with like negative critique on like my character because I try to take that stuff pretty seriously. Served in a lot of positions in different areas where that mattered, so like to have people critique it, especially when they don't know me, you know, does bother me. I know you're supposed to ignore it, but like, I don't know. I feel like there's a certain level.
The event this weekend is Standard Modern Legacy.
We are so dead. Oh wait, maybe they won't attack again.
No, we're actually they can't attack with everything because they're done on the backswing.
Oh right, because you have the block.
I have the Quagmire block. So if they attack with everything here, they're dead to the tracker on the backtrack. They must have missed the creature land. All right, so we're going to 1.
Hey Jeff, could you make the tracker not die in this combat?
I would appreciate it. The tracker wouldn't die.
He has no card. They have no cards in hand.
They have no cards in hand.
That's a good point, Tollsworthy.
Safest attack in the world, no cards in hand.
I appreciate you saying that because that's the justice, but you know. Yeah,
I think the opponent made 2 bad attacks that game. the first time they didn't attack with enough things, and that second time they attacked with too many things.
All I got to say to that is boiler down.
No, there's not a punt command for the opponent because pointing out my opponent's punts in that manner isn't any more helpful than pointing out my punts. Like, talking about mistakes my opponent potentially made, talking about why they're mistakes, that's constructive and useful. Just like pointing and laughing at people. My rules on this channel aren't just about pointing and laughing at me. They're pointing and laughing at anybody in general. That's not okay. That's not how we do things. That's not how you be a useful contributing member on this stream.
It's also, just to go a step back from that, that's not how you grow a community. Like it's always the downside of what if that person comes across content 2 months later.
And like I'm big enough at this point, like my username is the same anywhere, that a lot of people reach out and they go, oh, I watched our match against you, and like making fun of someone that's not useful at all. Don't do that. Josh, thank you for the $10 donation for standard Boros Angels. We'll get that added to the queue. I appreciate the support.
Flaco Javier. No one really knows what the Ass Trophy looks like. Like, you talk about it, but nobody really knows what it looks like.
Bill Ballo, 14 months in Hoaglandia. I still haven't a complimentary timeout. What's wrong with me? Oh, I know when I'm seeing it. Thank you for the 14-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back.
That's a good point, Mazer Mouse. There is a punt command for the opponent. You're welcome to use it.
If
they can't do what? That is a good point.
Another dick punching mirror. Punt the wine. If you are still watching, I have unbanned you.
Wait, you're telling me if people send you a reasonable message and request to unbanning that?
Yeah, I do.
Wow.
It's weird. It's weird.
It's interesting. Like, I had people message, unban me, and I'm just like, no. To be clear, open with a message of why. Like, or an apology or something.
In my experience, these rock-style mirror matches lead to very few interesting decisions, and both players get empty-handed with no board and then run things off the top. So it's this is a tough one. I don't think there's, I think the only way you can really approach like breaking matches like this is playing bombs in the board. So like that's one of the reasons why I have 2 Nissa Vital Forces to like increase the volatility of my top decks in the mid to late game. This is brutal. Spending just a few constructive words on the opponent should have done to prevent you from winning, like you did. Is yes, yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. There's really easy doing things like that is easy and constructive.
I think I
actually really like this Overgrown Tomb.
It does look like a tomb.
It does look unlike the Steam vent, which has neither steam nor vents. This one seems okay. I'm actually gonna wait on the Assassin's Trophy here. I get punished if I draw exactly Tireless Tracker, but if I draw either of my Lilianas, I'm going to be happy that I waited on the trophy. Perfect, that's fine. I kind of wish I would have played the field last turn so I could have fielded this proactively. Holding the field also has value because I could flip it with a tracker later.
Nita Nick. Abzan.
If I was expecting to play all black-green mirrors, I would play a different deck. That's actually the truth. If I was expecting to play this mirror match for more than a quarter of my games, I wouldn't play this deck.
Yeah, most of the reason people play Abzan in the Jund or like the black-green was because Souls gave you something that could attack through, but the answer is I just don't. It's still too close.
It's not a good time.
If everybody's going to play black-green, you know what you play? A degenerate combo deck.
Degenerate.
Bring the NASCAR.
I would show up with red-green Valakut Titan. If I was expecting to play mirrors for 50% of my matches, I'd say screw it and show up with Primeval Titans. I'd show up with Amulet Titan. Amulet Titan is a deck that tends to beat up on this deck and is...
It has more free wins.
And it's more fun to play.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Deck.
I played a team event playing Valakut. It was really boring.
I think this deck is favored against Storm, but again, nothing is unlosable. So I'm going to go ahead and drop this Tasigur into play. And the reason why I'm cracking the fetch lands here is because I can full delve this and still activate my Tasigur. think I want to leave my Assassin's Trophy in here. Remember, when you're delving for Tasigur, you want to control which spells are left in your bin, so you can kind of dictate what you're more likely to get back. Control decks tend to be bad in Modern because in Modern you need to be doing something incredibly unfair to have a real shot.
You know,
control decks don't qualify for that.
Just to be real scintillating, I'm pretty sure this is the standard deck we're gonna play. Yeah, that's right, chat.
God bless.
I think.
That looks great.
No, you can't see it. Yes, I'm glad you're unhappy about that. I think game one that's like the right.
All right, give me a spell.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've played Hallowed One a bunch. You can find all the past things I've streamed both on my website and on my YouTube channel. So we're going to trophy that. They chose to leave Liliana on top of their deck, no surprise.
Straight up, Malay, that 100%. That's definitely what it was.
I get to go ahead and smash them here. If they don't have a removal spell in their hand, we could be in a pretty good spot. If they have a removal spell, I'm just going to concede. Yeah.
Win Magus. I love limited. I think it's a great way for people to be able to get all the nuance and difficulty of Magic without having to, you know, show up with pre-constructed decks.
Oh, that's a good catch. That's a good catch. The trophy forces the shuffle.
Oh.
Okay, that's a good. Thank you for pointing that out.
Or field. Field.
Sorry,
Yes.
Trophy doesn't force the shuffle. Field forces the shuffle. Yep. That is super true. So, because this black-green opponent has a bunch of Dark Confidants in their deck, I'm gonna leave Brutalities in. I'm gonna board in a Languish, actually, because I have Courser as well. That's a good thing to point out. I appreciate that. And then I'm gonna time out a bunch of people that like to say LOLs and stuff. You don't all need to repeat the same thing that one person has said after they've said it.
Typically, if you are reading in the chat that somebody made a, if you're reading in chat that somebody made a mistake, you're probably too late to also say that same thing. Like you're just behind the curve at that point.
Yep.
Wow, is this hand good?
They weren't playing the list that Todd Stevens was playing because they had Liliana the Veil in their deck. Todd Stevens was
Dark Confidence too.
Well, Stevens was playing Confidant. He was playing Confidant Courser and other stuff like that. But he was pretty adamant that Liliana wasn't good in black green.
What?
I'm just not. I decided to close the stream rather than get into that.
We've been wrong for like a decade.
I don't know.
No. It's definitely the kids that are wrong.
It's definitely the kids that are wrong.
Day. Magical Applegate, off and on he does, but not like a scheduled, you know, like this is consistently, but definitely give him a follow on his page. He's somebody that is smart to follow to get the notifications.
Again, choosing to sit on this Verdant if I can, because it allows me to... Yeah, our opponent has all their discard spells on. Oh, they don't have another land. Deal.
Look, no numbers. I don't think we were wrong about it. I think the game has gotten a little faster, and the card itself has just not, you know, you can't change the text of a card over time.
I mean, to set the bar low, I think Grixis Delver is playable. It's playing like a reasonable collection of like quality cards. Like the number of cards in that deck that I would consider modern playable is high. Usually that's my metric for like, is this fair deck close to good enough? You want to like look at the number of cards the deck is playing that are like playable in other decks, and it's just like if there's a good number, then like it's probably fine.
Harrison, I will actually be making an announcement when we get back from the SCG, basically to that effect. We're going to increase the content available to Hoaglandia. So.
Yeah, we're playing another Mirror Burgle. We're playing a mirror and their deck is greedier than ours, so you can understand how this is going.
Mm-hmm.
Much greedier than ours.
Durania, I always suggest. Wow.
They don't have a push here. This is really good.
Thanks. I always suggest getting your mana base locked in. I know green-black rock might have like a kind of a non-greedy mana base if you're like green with a little black. It is still important to have the most consistent way to cast your spells.
People
possible.
being timed out and getting salty is an easy 40% of why I sub. God bless Penguin. This is close to the list I'm playing this weekend. I don't know. I might be a card or two off by the time we get done and talk about things in the car ride, but...
Hey, T-Paz. It's going to be right here on the stream, and then I'm sure Jeff will be nice enough to retweet my social media announcements about it. I'm going to do my very best to just make it where if you're watching Jeff anyway, when he nears the end of his stream, since I'm on the West Coast, it's just going to roll right into...
We're going to do the old pass off.
Yeah, like and pretty much going to pair with...
Kent needs to update his Twitter handle so he's easier to find.
It really, and I'm going to. Nobody wants to find Shambles Snark.
It's possible I should have played this land out earlier, because like now I'm kind of down a land, but... I also may be greedy that I didn't just trade my Liliana here, but if my Liliana stays in play, I'm pretty far ahead. So like if they miss on a Doomblade this turn and can't pressure my Liliana, we'll be pretty far ahead. And even if they can pressure my Liliana, like I have the Hissing Quagmire to check the Tarmogoyf even after they clear my Screws and my Lilies, so we're not just behind. And we have the top of our deck as well. Are there two banners with your face? There should only be one banner with your face. Is the other one still scrolling in here?
That'd be funny.
It should be. Did the old one come up, Nivik? Tell me if the old one comes up. The old one shouldn't be. Is the old one in there still?
Yep. You've got like 3 people saying it is.
It was just up. All right.
I trust Jekyll Girl.
Oh, I know why it's up.
Oh, it's a different rotation.
I renamed the old banner and I didn't move it to the old sponsors folder. All right, that's fine.
I have heard Jeff say your names enough time, Jackal Girl, with a good comment or behind it that yes, exactly that. I have faith in your
main
observations.
Board surgical. Oh, Twitch chat. I'm gonna assume that was a fancy way of asking for a timeout. I'm just gonna hope against hope that was a really convoluted way to ask for a timeout.
Do you think it was maybe your last hope?
It was maybe my last hope, yep.
I'm pretty sure Nick Lange is
Kanamis,
the name I recognize.
Thank you for gifting that sub to Manic Engineer. I appreciate the support. Yeah. In fact, I think the blue black deck we're playing today has a gate or two in it. I've been registering gates in standard.
Yeah,
I think gates are fine and they're playable.
I think even in your black green mid range deck, that like 1 or 2 gates is reasonable.
So I'm just gonna start going ham on their discard pile here. I think.
In before terrible deck building suggestions because the new Can Mods time me out fad. That is an intersection. That is definitely an intersection of.
So we get to edict their Goyf, eat their Goyf, kill their Liliana. So we have appeared to have successfully be ahead in today's dick punching contest. Hopefully we can win the third match as well. They have nothing going.
Woo, they conceded.
Oh, look at that. They figured it out.
I'm glad
someone linked a new GP price structure. Let's click on that really quick.
I hope it's bad.
I hope it's good.
What?
Are we scaling at several points? Is that what this is implying, that we're scaling at several points?
What? yet?
It's based on attendance. I haven't found the exact number of attendance for each threshold yet, though. Okay, so what these four steps is a good change. Hopefully it is they step at reasonable amounts.
As far as I'm concerned, I'm thanking Willie et al. For that improvement.
Yes.
Any and all improvements are going to be
Jensen's on that group too, right? I think it was.
He doesn't need any cool guy points. He's already.
Yeah.
Here he is. Huey's Magic's hero, right? Like, he's probably on the short list of like people that like no reasonable folks in the community dislike. Up there with like Reed Duke and Corey Burkhart and like.
Can we talk about how they really changed the name to Magic Fest? Magic Fest is good. Rebranding Grand Prix to Magic Fest shows that WotC understands the direction they need to take Grand Prix in. Grand Prix should be Magic festivals. They should be about more than just the main event.
Go to for those in the chat that are consider themselves competitive Grand Prix players and even view that. Go to a Grand Prix, go to the side event stage on Friday or Saturday, and just see how many people are just all in on playing Magic more hours than you would in the main event, but completely in these side events for nothing more than packs. It's insane.
Do we Brutality here? They like 100% have a Doomblade, right?
Yeah, I don't want to put my Goyf into some sort of like thing.
And this is one of the nice things about Brutality in a matchup like this. It can kill Dark Confidant and Tracker, but it can also spot check for Doomblades.
Oh!
You have double Veil. My last hope can maybe grind through double Veil.
It'll just race it.
Oh yeah, I guess it does in a way.
You separate and you go, I'll keep this one. What do we pitch here?
I think it's just Fatal Push.
Seems fine.
It's like I want my lands in my tracker, right?
Yep. Take 2 Lily.
Yeah, I think that's the play.
You'll probably pitch the Brutality here.
Yep. And then next turn we'll go tracker land.
Yep.
To either force an edict or. Yeah, they could rip a thing to kill this. We could also rip a thing to kill those though too. Who's that strapping young man and what have you done with Jeff? What's going on, Phyrexian? I appreciate the 10-month resub there. Welcome back.
So Marty, this is what happened. We're talking. We're looking at an arena, and Jeff's like, "Man, I have this sealed event already queued up that I used my voucher for." And I said,
I just wanted the free cards. I had no intention of ever playing the sealed.
And then, lo and behold, I proceeded to play the entirety of my matches while Jeff was sitting next to me, making sure I told him how sweet it was the entire time. He went to bed with me at 1 and 2, and then woke up like it was Christmas morning.
How do we feel about that piece of candy? So I'm not gonna get a clue here, but I think that's fine. Definitely just go Goyf Trophy or Idiot, right?
Do trophy first?
It doesn't matter.
No, it really doesn't.
Because remember, this one comes into play untapped, so like the timing on it just like is completely irrelevant. Just like do it.
Oh,
do it
yeah.
ASAP. It's not like Path to Exile. You gotta be like, wait till you're upkeep and do the thing. Draw step it. They have more than 2 basics in their deck, so like draw stepping it here is also irrelevant. I'm just gonna like do it now so I can hit my auto pass key. I shouldn't be going with Strange Men. Listen, I think in 2016 there's a chance that I spent as many nights in bed with Mapamonte as I did with Christy traveling.
Yep.
Listen, when you're a grinder, you do everything on the cheap, so you put 4 guys in a room and 2 guys in a bed, okay? It's fine.
Double entendre for the word grinder. As soon as you said that, my eyes lit up. I was just waiting for it.
Unholy face. Thank you for the brand new tier 1 sub there. I appreciate that. Welcome. Double entendre. Yep, that is. Ayo, Rockins in there.
Whatever makes the room cheaper.
Thank you for the resub there. I appreciate that.
Ain't that the truth?
So I'm going to go ahead and slide my Bad Mama Jamma back here since we drew a land and grab this tracker. And then we'll go tracker, make it blue. I think the mirror is 100% who draws more trackers.
And Liliana's, which are extra trackers.
Yes. Nissa's also extra trackers too. She picks permanents back up for your discard. Also, Nissa ults the turn after you plus her. And nobody ever beats that ult in the mirror. It's whenever you play a land draw card. It's really good. Yep.
Oh, Fitness, that wasn't me. That wasn't... I wish I could claim that level of intelligence. I have no real,
Scavenging Ooze is rough. It means I can't get the Tracker back. I do get double draws here, though, so I need answers to 2 things. This I can get an answer to later, but...
Yeah, you want the Ooze answer.
I want to find an answer to the Ooze ASAP. Ew, Robinson with the tip. Thank you very much. Kent is gas and awesome every time he's hanging out on stream. He is gas. I agree.
I wish it was me, Fitness. I wish it was. Ken and Haas. Well, we got the Ken part right.
No, I don't think I blind Lily here because even if I go up to 4 here, there's only 2 creatures in graveyards right now, so they're not going to be able to kill my Lily with the Skoos. So I think I just do this and then get Quagmire out. Look, I keep telling Kent that he needs to move to Bloomington, and he's dead set on Seattle. -3 Karn, thank you for the 10-month resub. I even offered him my guest room for no money.
I think we've had this conversation like
a lot.
Yeah,
it's been a lot.
It gets revisited a lot, folks.
Thank you, -3 Karn, for the 10-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back.
Sorry, Olivia. Your comment's just great.
So, opponent made a small mistake here. They should have played this other Liliana, and plus her, they'd be 1 higher at the moment. So I get to, this is, the Treetop's actually an okay, maybe I should have slid her back in the dark, because they're going to get to field my Hissing Quagmire here.
Just to be clear, there's only 1 Bloomington in both the states. This is below now.
I mean, if I field... Oh, were they tapped out? Oh, yeah, I could have fielded their field when they were tapped out. Yeah, I definitely should have done that. I wasn't thinking about that. They were tapped out last turn with the Scavenging Ooze.
I was thinking about that, looking at their field.
How long till I approve/refuse decklist usually? Every 3 or 4 days or so. The Stinger, 16 months. That's like a year. Nah, it's over a year. Thank you for the continued support. I appreciate that. Yeah, I definitely should have fielded their field while they were tapped out. That was a pretty big mistake on my part.
Oh, we're probably... Is this game 2, right?
This is game 3.
Okay.
Pretty sure it's game 3. Sounds like game 3. I have this in my deck.
They blurred together.
They really do. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to grab this forest. I maybe should have slid this back in the dark last turn after I messed that up. Yeah, I sent an email to the email in the submission form.
That would be really bad business to, like, not let people know that they were rejected.
Yep.
Not meant to be a snarky comment, Roth, by any means. Just wouldn't surprise me if there was a content producer that did that. So. Yeah, right, Milk Dud. That's not a bad one. The good news is the market's growth is pretty high. I have a friend who let's just say his grandkids are taken care of from his real estate purchase. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Does Kent have @KentKetter on Twitter? That is not Kent.
My guess is it's my dad, Wanna Beetle, which is Tilt City, USA.
Yeah, if we drew our own Liliana the Veil, we'd be in an absurd spot here. Because there aren't any more creatures in graveyard, our Treetop actually checks the Scavenging Ooze while Liliana the Last Hope is plussing on it, which is nice. That being said, my window to pressure this Liliana the Veil is closing very rapidly here. What are you pausing for? Yeah, like, what are you doing?
No cache override. Cache override. It's not. Neither is my middle.
So now that this is at 3, while they're empty-handed here, I'm gonna go ahead and fire up Treetop and crack into Liliana the Veil because they have to choose: do they want to chump this to keep her at 5, or do they want to let her go to 2? Because next turn she'll be threatening ultimate, which means they will definitely chump. So I want to do this proactively. Because now if they swing back, they're not going to be able to kill mine. So I'm keeping their Liliana off ultimate, which is nice. Play the field out here, obviously, because their Veil is going to take it out of my hand. So they're going to knock my Last Hope back down to 2. But then if they miss this turn, my Treetop gets to kill their Veil. which puts us ahead, and I have this Field of Ruin in play, which checks their treetop. So we're actually in like a really good spot here, since I have the field for their treetop. Who is that in the Knights? That's Admiral Vortex, Anoronics. He bumped the banner for another month for y'all, so you're good for a while.
When you search
Doomblade.
The top result when you search Kent Ketter on Twitter is actually R.I.P. Hex.
So I do this. Do I want to trade Liliana's here? I think I want to trade Liliana's here. I think I'm ahead if I trade Liliana's here, because like I just need any Doomblade at this point. And now that their Veil's not in play, I can hold this land in case we draw a tracker. Just like any tracker draw puts us so absurdly far ahead at this point. I don't need to crack the treetop proactively. In fact, holding the Field of Ruin as long as possible tends to be an ideal situation in case I draw a, what's it called? Yeah, Standard's going to be every Tuesday. I taught Kent how to play Warhammer last time he was here, and I'm actually going to give him the rest of my extra cards that are duplicates past what I have, so I'm going to teach him how to play a little bit.
Yeah, I am. I'm around. I just haven't put any time into it because Eternal decided to blindside me with a competitive structure, and then I didn't suck at that for 3 Qs and qualified for that. I meant to play Warhammer last weekend and got distracted.
All right, well, I guess I'm playing this. And then I guess I'm pressuring here, right? I think we're winning this race because we're attacking for 5.
Snacky snack.
Snacky snack, 4 months subbed, but many more months telling coworkers to use their words to describe the problems that their solutions will solve. Yep, thank you for the 4-month resub there. I appreciate that. Welcome back.
It's like Jeff is both providing entertainment and professional development advice.
I'm occasionally professional. Nubek came for Solar Flare, getting something memeier. What's going on? Thank you for the 3 months.
My favorite thing after finishing a Scrum Master course is just bringing up agile methodologies and everything day to day.
So Kent is smart, and he doesn't want to put a specific game in his tag on things.
Yeah, that is really
putting games in your tag limits your potential branding.
Kent Beck. That'd be a good last name. Nah, it's Ketter. I will throw something at you, obscene. Say, I'm gonna time you out for that. I'm gonna fight. Where are you at? You're lucky it doesn't keep track of messages here, Sanity. I'm kidding. I might or might not have been super frustrated with my previous employment because of Waterfall.
Yeah, basically the way you need to think about Arena is you're buying wild cards, and any cards you happen to open that you actually wanted are like upside on top of that. So in a pretty bad spot here, although we come back to parity. We come back to a head actually if we just find any of our 800 Doomblades. We're gonna keep drawing lands and die. Hey, look, a Doomblade. God bless us, everyone.
How are we not losing this, by the way? Like, what?
This is just how these games go, right?
Right, but like...
This game's a good example of why having 5 creature lands in my deck is great.
Sure, don't disagree with that. Artifact, yes, I am going to be involved. I was the sadist who stood in line to get Jeff's code.
Yeah, I paid for Ken's badge so he could go get me a code.
I appreciate some value. No, was not good value. I actually should tell you the story. Now that we're on stream, I should tell you what happened with that. One, bless up the Artifact staff. So I go to PAX on Sunday. The entire intent is to get this code for Jeff. I show up at 8 a.m. when it opens. I was not able to get in line the entirety of the day because so many people wanted to get in line that the PAX enforcers had to shut down the line to get in the line. I was able to get the code because I very appropriately and politely asked to speak to a staff member with someone else who made content and basically just explained the situation and mentioned that I had come by here 6 times that day, literally 6 times to get in line to wait 3 hours, and they wouldn't let me. So they thankfully let us skip the demo and just gave us our beta keys, which is some great customer service. Anyway.
To answer your question, Nivik, Standard feels really great right now, and it is extremely popular. My Standard day that we did on Tuesday had a higher average viewer count than most of my weekday days that I've had recently. All of my weekday days that I've had recently. Woo! The Banana King is here.
Yeah, Matt, man, I saw they're going for that. I just have a problem with, like, that. Because, like, I understand somebody's willing to pay it, but it just feels wrong. Like, that amount of money for, like, 2 weeks of access, I understand folks will do it, but, like, whew.
It doesn't scale based on attendance. They're just, like, setting some higher and some lower. I don't understand how they consistently get so close to doing something great and then just, like, muck it up at the end.
Oh, you mean they
just want to see it at the end?
Yeah, they always do that.
I think the view numbers went up because of Standard or the fact that you were doing something different than normal. I think it's a mix of the two, Ribbon. I also think that, like, adding some Standard to my content will be good for my content in general, because unlike a lot of Magic content creators, I produce so much content that it's difficult for a lot of people to keep up with literally everything that I do. So I'm kind of adding content that, like, other people, like a new market basically. So, like, there's still a ton of modern content for most people, but there will be content for a potentially new market there as well. All right, give me a Doomblade, please. Tracker or Liliana the Veil, deal.
Wow, get bent with the combs in play. Hey, Ace 5KM, good question. Just about, like, arena resource usage. I think what you want to think about is the cards that are in each respective deck. Do they flex into other decks? So if, like, the blue-black control deck is all your black removal, you're hedged towards other black mid-range decks. If your blue-red deck is blue control deck, like with a bunch of counter spells, I think that's something to look at. First thing you need to do, though, regardless of what archetype you pick, build your mana base. Don't try to, like, stumble through the non-8 dual land mana bases. It's not a good way to get a feel for how good the deck is.
Arena's also really good in a good viewing experience. Opponent just said in chat, what do I do, Jeff? Cut, dark, confidant, and play better cards instead.
Yeah, for those that are in chat or in the subs Discord, I really would suggest you go to the arena area and just at Marty. Sorry, Marty, you're going to get blown up.
My opponent just said, what do I do, Jeff? And I responded with cut dark confidants and play better cards instead.
Oh, what would you suggest now? You shilling in Moto chat. Right here. Okay.
They asked what they should play instead, and I directed them to my website.
I think they're... Oh!
Woo! Doggy! Oh! And you get a Doomblade, and you get a Doomblade. Everybody gets a Doomblade.
And that Lily's super dead.
Maybe. Am I killing Goyf here?
So I think you decay the Goyf, Treetop the Lily.
Let's draw a card.
And Tasigur the face.
Let's just draw another Doomblade. Yay! Doomblades! Woo! Doomblade!
You're not even gonna pay life for this?
Nope. 0.
Well, congrats. Your punchery has worked out in your favor. Hey, if anybody wants to ask why you play
Tasigur instead of Bob.
Or you over Angler. Wow.
There we go. All right, so we're 1-1 in deck punching contests today. 3-1 in the league. Mikey Hopkins with that brand new tier 1 sub. Thank you for the support. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me employed here. Time him out of the room. It feels good to have it all, if we're being honest. Kapi, thank you for the 6-month 3 sub. Enjoy your training sword and begin your route to learn to defend the realm.
I gotta make a regional joke here. Why is everybody talking about punching bags of hamburgers over here? Dick punching? That's a hamburger. What are we doing here? Just gotta say, it's a Seattle joke. You might get it.
The Tron matchup's actually good for this deck. I think this matchup's good too, for the record, which I'm sure means I'm about to just get completely dumpstered, but I think this match is good for us.
Do you take Swift Spear here?
I think I take Blaze.
Oh, like, because you have the Ooze?
I have Ooze and Tracker. Like, my deck is full of Doom Blades.
Okay. I'm okay with that.
Our hand's, like, not amazing in this matchup explicitly, but we've got some tools here. Also, like, worth noting, I'm only going to take 1 damage from my mana.
Gotcha.
Please time me out and show me the Hoogland in Discord. I got you. So the Discord here is details on how to get to the Discord are here. The most important thing to note about the Discord instructions, you do that from your desktop web browser. Goyf would be absurd. Collective Brutality off the charts. Just a lot of good pickups here. Fatal Push, fine.
Hey, Matt Rose, we have not, and for those wondering at home, the stream title does correctly list the order in which decks will be played.
Yeah, so decks that are listed in the stream title are decks that we still have yet to play today. So I want to fetch here so my Tarmogoyf doesn't die to a 3 damage spell. And while I have some double black spells in my deck, I'm going to get a second forest here since I have Scavenging Ooze in play.
Jet, it's not just about... I understand. I mean, I love eating entire bags of dicks. Just a big, sweaty, steaming bag. But I'm confused why folks in this chat seem to want to punch them. Like you know, I'm about eating them, not... It's weird. But it's like the like local cheap burger.
What? Okay. Alrighty. How do we feel about just bin both fields? You like that?
I don't know if both. So I want all 3 modes. No, yeah. It's all 3. There's no question.
Yeah, it's just like.
Wow. Do you not kill Swift Spear?
No, Taylor's got to die. Taylor makes the scoos bigger later.
Sure. My thought is, and I guess hitting Tracker on 3 is not that important.
The Hat Case, thank you for the 4-month resub at the tier 3 level there. I appreciate it. You want me to bin Tracker? Yeah, I guess I don't need.
Because like I want the 3rd land for Ooze next turn.
Yeah, that's true.
Thanks, Matt, man.
I guess
that's a good point. It is food for Ooze.
Make sure I click the right thing. 3 modes. Yep. Click. And we know they have Boros Charm in their hand. So this is something I want to point out because people incorrectly say this all the time. What I am doing right now is very good, but it is not card advantage. What I have done here is I have 3 for 3'd my opponent. What Collective Brutality allows you to do in this matchup is generate tempo. It allows us to turn resources like Tireless Tracker that we normally weren't going to be able to deploy for a little while into something useful. So Collective Brutality is not card advantage, it is tempo advantage. It converts our resources into things we can use sooner.
I think that's appropriate, Yope-san. Card quality would be an appropriate term. Like it's letting you mitigate the variance.
I would like the record to reflect I wanted to keep the tracker. I'm also greedy and bad. Don't do that. All right, so I'm gonna eat something here. This game's pretty much almost a lock here either way. They need to have they need Searing Blaze next turn, and they need a bunch of hot ones after that.
And they have 1 card in hand.
Yep.
Getting to put a Goyf in play and having your life total above 15 is like.
Will the new format just be Frontier? I actually think when they create a new format, it'll start newer than Frontier. I think like Origins is more likely. Yep. So one of the things to note here is that eating this creature is going to shrink my Tarmogoyf, but it's going to grow my scoos, so it's kind of like net neutral. Is this a concession lockup? I think this is a concession lockup.
-3 Karn, I would say that's bad for your health, but it's better for your health than -3 in Karn.
All right, so I have what can only be described as respect for the burn deck. So my sideboards always have very clean plans. If you are playing black-green, and if you have Thoughtseize or Dark Confidant in your deck post-board in this matchup, if you're playing Dark Confidant for some reason, your deck is not constructed properly, and you should revisit. So you can see here, all 3 of my Thoughtseizes come out. I have very cleanly 2 Duress and a 3rd Brutality to bring in. And let's go. I guess Last Hope's not stellar. She's fine. She gets Scavenging Ooze back. Actually, what she does is she discards to Brutality to make Goyf bigger.
What about swapping out a Pulse just for random, like...
Oh, I guess I don't hate... yeah, a last hope. Last hope for Pulse is probably okay because they're an ensnaring bridge deck some of the time now.
Yep.
That's what I'll do. If we have a 3rd game, I will swap that. Hopefully we find an untapped land here so I can go Duress into Brutality. I think if we don't draw an untapped land on 1, I'm going to play Treetop tapped.
And then you'll Brutality on 2,
yeah,
and
just
then
full mode
Duress
Brutality.
on
Yep.
3. Yeah, I like that.
Yes.
Did we mention how little damage your mana base is dealing to you?
The
and how
real
many games
Matt
you win?
Rose, thank you for the brand new Twitch Prime support, Matt Rose. I hope it's really you. I'm going to lunch. Can you have Kent time me out, please? Of course we can have Kent time you out. Kent.
Nivik, post one other thing. I'm going to do it from my phone. Just give me another message. Now that it's
Oh
over.
yeah, Nivik, just gotta re-up that sweet message. I got Prime. Take my sub. Prime is great. I love 2-day shipping, and thank you for supporting my content with your Prime sub. I think I'm gonna keep the Abrupt Decay over the Pulse of the main. I think that's what I'm gonna end up registering this weekend. All right, so I don't.
Oh, you're right. I do. I forgot that he's a mod. Give me that mouse. Stop talking about this irrelevant game of Magic.
All right, go ahead.
I've got responsibilities here.
All right.
I forgot about that.
So I feel like there's a chance that, especially if I'm taking a spell this turn, that this Duress is going to be dead at this point. So do I bin, especially since I don't have the untapped land next turn, and I want to play Tarmogoyf next turn, do I bin the Duress here as my second bin? I think so. That leaves me with this. In hand. So then I go like Treetop Tracker or Treetop Goyf next turn. No, I think the trophy is important because it's my only removal spell here. If they cast like Eidolon next turn, I want to be able to kill that.
Yeah.
I think it's been the Duress.
Yep.
I think like, because if I'm not Duressing next turn, 2 turns from now, it's basically guaranteed not going to do anything. And this is guaranteed going to have something so I'm just going to take this so I can play my tracker out without worrying. And they have 4 lands already, so this game's probably done.
Yeah.
Like we're at 13 based on the cards in their hand, and we've got a Goyf coming down next turn. They suspended 2 bolts.
So that was their draw.
Yep.
They've got a land.
And if
We go.
if they'd like to double bolt this, they can be my guest.
Why not the tap land there?
Because this is going to be tapped next turn.
Oh,
so it's like the
draw.
same, only I represent something this turn.
Yeah, good point.
It ends up being fundamentally the same, only I have a representation this turn. For like the purpose of sequencing our spells.
The other reason it's correct is if you draw a Veil. Like you
Oh yeah, I could play Veil next turn, yep. Correctly ignoring the Tarmogoyf. I think this is right on the opponent's part. I think double bolting my Tarmogoyf here is playing to lose, or playing to not lose. So
sorry, I think that's a really good point. That now with Trophy in the deck, you have a chance to cut their white. Not in this situation,
but there are situations where that is.
And that's a really cutting the green is a great way to strand all of those revelries.
What happened to playing 4 Brutality? I kept looking at my ins and outs in these matchups and coming to the conclusion that I didn't have enough things to cut.
It was also the decision that like the graveyard is the most busted zone, or I think the graveyard is the most busted zone in Modern, and there was only 2 cards for it outside of the main deck oozes. So the 3rd graveyard hate card is pretty nice.
All right. So we have to fade 1 draw step here, which is about where you end up having to fade against burn. So
hey, Wanna Beetle, you know how you fix a Keurig? You put it in the trash and order a French press. You'll save yourself like $80 roughly. Also, the coffee doesn't suck.
Yeah, Duress is really good. Reduke played a Duress in his Abzan list at the PT, and I think it was a very good inclusion. That's where that inspiration came from. Always copy people who are smarter than you, chat.
If you don't know who's smarter than you, well, figure that out.
Do some research.
Hold on. Why are we tapping black?
Because, all right, yep. Sure.
I don't know.
They're gonna die to this Treetop here, and it'll be fine. I check for deflecting palm.
Yep. Directing palm. Okay, that was a bad joke. 6, 9, 12. That's lethal.
3, 6, 9. This is why I cut the last Brutality. By the way, like this is a game we won on the draw. Like I think this matchup is good for us
because if they're boarding in the answers to your threats known as Path, their deck is worse against you.
Yep. You can find this deck list on Stream Decker in front of you. If you want to see more videos with this deck, you can go to jeffhoagland.com/deck list. In the proven section is the Black Green Rock. You can find a playlist with all of my videos up there. After playing that league, I don't think I have any changes to this. I think this is kind of card for card what I'm going to show up with this weekend. Unless we have some kind of giant revelation in the car of things I haven't thought of in the last
100% lose that game for playing a third color. Like those are the matches you lose to burn.
We lost the literal mirror match. Like the opponent was playing Tasigur's and
4-1.
We 4-1 losing like probably what was the 72 or 73 card mirror.
I gotta say, for a 4-1, it didn't really feel that lit, but like the deck was really good.
Oh, it just this deck, it doesn't do anything impressive. It just like plays good cards in a reasonable combination. So a couple of just in the wrap up to cover some of the changes that I've done in this deck list as it's kind of evolved. So the two biggest changes are in the sideboard. You'll see I'm on 2 Nissa Vital Force and 2 Duress in the sideboard. Duress is a response to wanting, well, actually both of these cards are cards that I wanted more cards to bring in against cryptic command decks. So Duress is a card that has the flexibility to come in a matchup like against like Burn and other spell-based combo decks like Ad Nauseam, but also doesn't risk us getting burned out while playing against Jeskai. I wanted more cards to allow me to take Tefreeze and cryptic commands out of their hands, but I didn't want the health risk associated with playing more than 3 copies of Thoughtseize. Ace, thank you for the brand new Prime support. I appreciate that.
What we got?
Nissa Vital Force is kind of the only piece of top end these colors can be playing that also allow you to be aggressive. I think this card's only okay. I think if we had a third color, you know, something like Storm Breath or something bigger could be good here, but I don't think the third color is worth it overall. And I think this card does like a good Storm Breath Dragon impersonation. Like it's a 5/5 with haste. It generates card advantage with both her ultimate and her down tick. So I think that does a lot of good stuff for us. The last thing we've changed in the sideboard, I'm very confident about this. I like Languish over Damnation. I think Languish is better because not only does it not kill our Tasigurs and our Tarmogoyfs, it's much better against Selfless Spirit. So basically this is a Plague Wind card that doesn't care about Selfless Spirit. Last comment, people are asking about this Abrupt Decay. So for a little while after we put trophies in, I was playing a Pulse main and a Pulse board. And basically, I just want more efficient removal. Like, we had to play Maelstrom Pulses before Assassin Trophy so we could have enough ways to kill opposing Gurmag Anglers and Tasigurs and stuff like that and Tefreeze. But because Trophy covers a lot of that same space, I wanted to play more efficient removal spells. Because the games you tend to lose with a deck like this aren't the ones that go long. The games you tend to lose with my 4 Tireless Tracker deck are the ones where my opponent kills me very quickly by going under me. So by having more efficient 2-mana removal, I reduce the likelihood of my opponent being able to get under me consistently. Last comment in chat is that somebody was asked, so 5-mana Garruk generates card advantage, but it doesn't kill people. And I want, this deck is aggressive in the controlling matchup, and Nissa allows us to be aggressive while also being able to grind if we need to grind instead of being aggressive. The last comment is Kalitas. Every card you put in your modern deck that costs more than 2 mana is a real liability, especially because of all of these really efficient aggressive decks. And while Kalitas can help you lock games up against aggressive decks where like he gets to start hitting and gaining 3 health, the games Kalitas is locking up are often games that you were winning anyways. Kalitas isn't a card in your opening hand that helps you not die. It's a card that helps you close the door once you've already won. And I think between Goyf, Tracker, and Tasigur, we kind of already have enough tools that do that. All right, so this is Dismember is a hedge. That's a good last comment. Dismember is a hedge against not only Hazoret, but Gurmag Angler and stuff like that. It's also a flexible, you know, like basically it's a 5th 1-mana removal spell basically in my deck that can't have Lightning Bolt. Last comment, because I saw Stevens playing that card yesterday. Thrun is garbage. Thrun is bad in green-black mirrors because it's often smaller than Tarmogoyf, and green-black mirrors have Lilianas to kill opposing Thruns, and it's bad against the blue-white decks now because the well-built blue-white decks are playing Terminus now. So, like, the reason Thrun was good before was it got through counter magic and then it didn't die to their Supreme Verdicts, but now it just gets swept away with their 1-mana sweeper like everything else, making it like, so it gets outclassed in the creature matchups, and it just gets swept away by Terminus. All right.